Soccer As We Like It. My name is Tim Russell, your host. Today's our Express edition where we cover the weekend's roundup of games in the leagues around Europe. We're going to cover the Bundesliga, the Serie A, the La Liga and E10, where we give you predictions and we talk about the special games that are going to be played over the weekend. We're going to start with the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga, as we know, the Bayern Munich are still currently leading that table, leading that league currently. Unfortunately, Bayern Dortmund, who've been the closest allies and the closest team pursuing Bayern Munich, have fallen down to the 6th position. But they're away this week to Hamburg. Can they pull back and get an away point? Maybe Dortmund are chasing Champions League this season and making that a priority than the Bundesliga. So we'll see if they can get a point or get a victory at Hamburg, who are literally in the bottom 4 in the Bundesliga this season. Bayer Leverkusen at home to SV88 after a remarkable victory at Wembley against Tottenham midweek in the European Champions League. Can they contain that? Can they follow up on that victory and continue to climb up the table? We'll have to see. I predict a 2-1 victory for Hamburg. A 2-1 victory for Bayer Leverkusen against SV88. Bayern Munich against Hoffenheim. I think a home victory. There's no reason why Bayern Munich cannot get 3 points on that game and sustain the lead on the top. Now, if we go over to Serie A, not a lot of games this Saturday, but we'll have a lot of games on Sunday, which we'll cover in a later edition of this show. We have Torino against Cagliari, which is a nice home game. I think a home victory is going to be the answer to that. I don't see Cagliari causing Torino any problems. But the big one is going to be Napoli against Lazio. That is a very great game. It's going to be a very big game. I think it's going to be very tight. I don't see a lot of goals in this game. I predict a 2-1 victory for Napoli at this particular moment in time. Napoli are playing very well at the moment. They're in the top 4. Lazio are in the top 5. But being with the home support and considering how Napoli played during the week, I think they could get a good result. And considering Juventus narrowly beat them on Sunday, I think Napoli will be able to pull this one out of the bag and get a home victory for this one. If we go over to La Liga, they've got some spicy games this weekend. We have Real Sociedad at home to Atletico Madrid. I think Real Sociedad could cause an upset here. And if Atletico Madrid do lose that game, it's going to push them from 3rd into 4th or 5th. But we'll just have to wait and see. Real Madrid at home to Leganés. I think that's going to be a home victory for Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid will use this opportunity to go high on the table because the big game there is... Another big game is Celta Vigo and Valencia. Celta Vigo playing very well, playing some good and scientific and mesmerizing football. I think they'll be able to beat and take care of Valencia. I think 3-1 will be the result of Celta Vigo against Valencia. But another big game in La Liga this weekend is going to be the game between Sevilla and Barcelona. Barcelona coming from that 3-1 defeat they suffered in Champions League away to Man City. Can they recover from that? But the way they play against Man City, if they play like that against Sevilla, who are the current Europa League holders, they're going to get thrashed. I could see a beating there from Sevilla. It's going to be a close game, but my prediction is Sevilla is going to win 2-1 because Barcelona is missing some key players. They're missing Iniesta, missing Gerard Piqué, and they seem not to be firing. They seem to have lost the momentum or losing their confidence as they were embarrassed, humiliated against Manchester City on Tuesday night in the Champions League. Well, we're going to take our first break now on this Express edition and we'll be back. Soccer As We Like It. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Soccer As We Like It, our Express edition, where we round up the fixtures and predictions for this week's league games around Europe. We're now going to move over to the EPL quickly. If we look at some of the spicy games we have this weekend, we have Manchester City at home to Middlesbrough. I think that's going to be a home win. Middlesbrough have recovered, beating Bournemouth last week and getting a point the previous week. But I think this is going to be a step too far for Borough to get an away point, even though they played a very good game against Arsenal 2 weeks ago and nearly won that. Emirates. Can they do that at Etihad? We'll just have to see. But I think it's going to be a tight game where Manchester City is going to win by 2-1, regardless of what Borough do. Chelsea at home to Everton. I think Chelsea are going to be too strong for Everton. Everton have been playing well straight after the victory over West Ham at Goodison Park on Sunday. Can they beat Chelsea at the Bridge? I think it's going to be a tight game. I predict Chelsea are going to beat Everton by 3-2. The big London derby. Tottenham away to Arsenal. Tottenham haven't beaten Arsenal since 1994 at Emirates, or even at hybrid ground. So I don't think they're going to beat Arsenal. It would be nice if they can, to show the championship credentials and show that they're ready for this season's Champions League, for the Premiership. But I see a draw. I see a 2-2 draw in this game. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 2 is my prediction. Swansea at home to Manchester United. Manchester United can't afford to drop any points now at this stage of the season. And Bob Bradley, being the first American to beat Manchester United, is going to be global news all over the United States. That the first American to beat Manchester United with Jose. But I think Man United, considering they lost to Fenerbahce during the week, I think they're ready to come back now and beat Swansea. So I predict a 3-1 victory away for Manchester United. Liverpool-Watford. Watford can be tricky. You never know what Watford's going to offer you on one day or the other. They're quite unpredictable. They lost away to Burnley. They went to West Ham and got a victory. But I think going to Anfield is going to be a bridge too far for Watford. So I'm going to predict a 3-1 victory for Liverpool against Watford. It's going to be a done deal, 3-1, and Liverpool are going to keep marching on. As far as they are doing, they're doing well. They're doing what needs to be done, and they're beating everyone they need to beat. Leicester City against West Bromwich Albion. That's a home game to the champions. I think West Bromwich Albion, I think after the 4-0 defeat they suffered during the week, I think they're going to suffer another beating this week. They lost 4-0 at home to Manchester City. I think another defeat is looking on the cards this week. So that rounds up our games for this weekend. The La Liga, Serie A, EPL, Bundesliga. We wish you all the best. We see you guys on Monday after all the results have come through. And stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And if you have any problems, any issues you want to talk about, email us, socceraswelikeit@gmail.com. My name is Tim Russell, your host on our Express Edition. See you later.